join Slomozovo.
Awesome. Hello, can everyone hear me? Cool. This is the first time, I know I'm not on a stage, but this is the first time I've been on a stage in years. So I'm kind of terrified of all of you. I was expecting maybe four or five people, so this is going to be great. So the lowdown for my half-hour slot is that I'm going to warm myself up because I'm scared out of my brain right now, and then I'm going to be doing a little talk which was adapted from a video. This was originally going to be a video that I did on my second channel, and then when I got this panel slot I was like, can I adapt this and do this on stage? So I'm going to try and do that, and maybe maybe that'll be fun, and then I'm going to take some questions. And I know the thing I'm talking about is not particularly, is very niche, so don't feel free to ask questions about anything. I know a lot of you watch my stuff, so if you have questions about particular videos or anything, just have them thinking in the back of your brain, work on those in the back of your little mind tank, and I will answer those questions for you. And then, right at the end, I'm going to have to get someone over there to go and grab my camera, if they would be so kind, because right at the end, I'm going to, hopefully if I've got time, film a little bit for Past and Future Thing, which is my project where I film myself all the time, forever, and I die of exhaustion. So yeah, hello. Hi. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to talk. I'm going to try and do this thing that I've been rehearsing. To offer you a bit of context, it's about YouTube as a platform. So a lot of people like me and Tom and Jack and Dean, we always get asked these silly questions, and I thought, you know, why not talk about it? So, how do I get YouTube famous? How do I get YouTube famous? Hi Nick, I've been watching your stuff for a while, and I really like your videos, and I was wondering if you could give me some tips on how to be YouTube famous. No. I'm gonna stop you, right there, I'm gonna stop you. We get asked things all the time because we're approachable, or at least we seem approachable, because the internet is a two-way street. We get asked things all the time, and we get asked stupid things like that because of how ambiguous the YouTube experience is. There is no, like, secret organization, there is no rule book, we're making it up as we go along. That question, how do I get YouTube famous, means you're going about things completely wrong. You don't make things to get popular, at least not at the beginning of your creative life. You make things to make things and to get better. And I don't mean that in the inspirational, hippie, I'm gonna touch your hair kind of way. I mean that if you don't go into things the right way, you will suck and you will not get better. Nobody hires the person who knows everyone but doesn't know how to read. That's just not how it goes. That's not how it goes. You do it well, and you do it to grow. I am a filmmaker. I studied at the University of Lincoln. I studied film and media production. Through a combination of traditional education and self-teaching, I now know how to operate various cameras, to use editing software, to command a team as a director or a producer. And YouTube started off as a kind of sandbox for me, a creative sandbox, and like motivation to make new things. And it's still that, but it's now also part of my career. And that can be said for a lot of YouTubers. A lot of the people here, particularly with me today on the stalls, a lot of that same thing can be applied to them. Tom Scott is a gifted producer. He knows numbers, he knows what his audience wants, and he knows how to command a team to make that stuff happen. Chris Kendall, if you know who Chris Kendall is, Crab Sticks, he is a performing arts graduate. He's a fantastic actor, and he uses YouTube as a springboard into bigger and better things. And so far, it is really, really working for him. The Vlog Brothers, who watches the Vlog Brothers? Vlog Brothers, yeah, do whatever. They are a talented author and a talented blogger turned into entrepreneurs. And they have this fantastic cycle, they've created this fantastic circle of things where everything feeds into the next thing. Readers become viewers, viewers become readers, become listeners. become t-shirt sales, become VidCon attendees. It's genius. And Philip DeFranco is the same. He is a fantastic businessman. He knows his numbers, he knows marketing, and he has a fantastic team of awesome people working underneath him to make that happen. And so, almost every big YouTuber that you know, I use that little thing there, every big YouTuber that you know excels in a field. And that's the important thing, is we're not YouTubers, we are directors, we are cameramen, we're producers, we're musicians, we're actors. So you don't need to be asking for advice on how to get big. You need to be asking for advice on how to get really, really, really good at something. And along the way, you generally find that you will learn everything else that you need. That's my talk. That was my talk. Thank you. Thanks. That went on. That happened. That's a thing that I did. I hope that gave you a little bit of insight. I hope that made sense. Gave you a bit of context into what we do. And now, if people have questions, I will take questions for a few minutes, and then when the questions run out, I will film something, and that'll be fun. What time are we at? 8 past. I thought that would take longer. No problem. I hope you have loads of questions. Anyone? Then okay. Question.
I'm a 3D artist. I build 3D models and stuff. I'm gonna animate and stuff. Do you want me to hold the mic so you know I won't reach it? But because I'm the artist, I build stuff. But when it comes to the animating and stuff, I've got a background in drama, but it's nothing major. When it comes to like the producing and the designing of how things will work and stuff, I'm clueless. And to tell the truth, my friends are pretty clueless about it as well. I'm friends with game designers who know how to design a game, but not animation. An animation artist, game animators who know how to animate, but not how to implement it in a film sense. So how would I go about learning the other skills I need to sort of expand on what I do?
Definitely. That's actually something that a lot of people come across with YouTube and doing things online, is so many people online are doing things on their own. And that's great if you are an animator, like Jamie. He can sit in his room. Sorry, Jamie. He's in the corner there, Rage 19. He sits in his room alone, and he shouts into a microphone, and then he animates it. And I want to help, but I can't. I just hear it in the next room. But then, if you're someone like a 3D model artist, that's a little harder. I think the best advice I can give you is to find other like-minded people with other skill sets. Because if you work in a team, not only will you be able to produce things as a team, you will also pick up skills from everyone else that you're working with. And that's how a lot of us started. Like Jack and Dean have always worked as a team, and they have different skill sets. Me and Tom and Matt and everyone that we know all work together. We all have vaguely different skill sets, some drastically different and some very similar, but we all kind of back together and we learn from each other. Like 6 months ago, Jamie, who now lives with me, wouldn't have been able to pick up a camera and press the right button. And now he knows his way around my 5D Mark II almost as well as I do. It's just, yeah, it's locating people, whether it's in real life or over the internet, who have similar interests and want to make stuff with you. I think that's the biggest kind of bridge to class if you want to learn some new skills. Outside of, I don't know, doing tutorials and finding courses at your local, whoever does animation courses. I hope that helps. Questions? More questions? You were next. Have a think.
Anyway, looking back at your old stuff, of course, you started out getting onions thrown at you in front of college and different things like that. And now you're on like really big projects projects like utube, for example. Do you ever look back at your old work and now look at what you're doing now and just think how far you've come creatively, and you look back at your old stuff and you're like, oh, I'm getting so much better, so or do you think, oh, I want to get better?
Yes. I think particularly you look back at your old stuff, but as a filmmaker, as a camera person, you look back and you think, oh, that was so badly made, well, I was shooting on such a terrible camera, what was I thinking? Like Onions was shot on a Sony Handycam, and a lot of our early videos were shot on those Sony Handycams, and they were lovely pieces of kit, but they're nothing compared to the current generation of HD DSLR like Canons that we use now. And so I think a lot of it is to do with production values. And when you're just starting out, you don't notice it as bad. And then you go back and you see it, and you're like, oh no, that sound is terrible, or that's peaking, or that color is off, or that's been cropped wrong. It's the technical things, I think, that actually bug me the most when I go back and look at my old stuff. I still enjoy it, because I still think a lot of the ideas from our early videos are really, really great. To the point where I might even be tempted to remake one, given what I have now. I've always kind of wanted to remake this film I made a couple of years back, Roads to Funwell. I kind of thought it would be quite nice to remake that, given the stuff I have access to now, and see what it would be, see how it would be different. Yeah, I can still watch it, I can still enjoy it, but there is that particularly with production values, there is that huge gap between what we were doing originally and what we are doing now. And that's just a natural progression, especially as people who want to make it their careers. I want to be a filmmaker for the rest of my life, so I need to get better. I need to get technically better every time. Every video I make needs to be better than the previous one. And yeah, so you do see it after a while. More questions? You there, in the fabulous sweater, by the way. I just love your dress sense.
Thank you, I do try. What would you say was the thing you would like to change most about your filmmaking?
Yeah, straight at you.
What's the thing you would like to change most about what you do now, like camera and this and all that? Like, what you think you're worst at and what you think you're best at?
It's a very good question. I think one of the things I've always lacked is special effects things. I'm not a compositor. I've never studied in any real depth programs like After Effects or Maya or 3D modeling of any kind. I don't know any of that. I took one workshop in Maya in sixth form. I was like, ah! So and I ran away and I never touched it again. So I quite like in theory, I would love to know more about special effects, but in practice, really at this point, you need to be thinking in terms of who you can get to do that for you. So it's more about team building at this point. I know my skill set with cameras and editing, and I'm a confident but not very good performer. And other than that, I need other people doing some work with me and helping out. So I think the biggest thing I would want to change about my setup right now isn't equipment, and it isn't to do with me personally. It's to do with the people I know or the resources I have. If I, say, had more money to put into my films, then I could hire people who are professionally good at the things that I'm lacking. And that's like the next big step up for me. It's something that Tom has managed to do in the last couple of years. And when you get to a certain point where you have money to then put it back into your projects, that's kind of what I want to be doing over the next years. Is concentrating on building a team that I can have a specialist in every field, like Team Fortress. Questions?
You want a 3D Max expert?
Yes, almost.
You know in the recent videos, $1 billion. Yeah. What was the inspiration behind that? What took you to actually get to that point?
I think that the phrase $1 billion is really, really funny. And from the views, I think a lot of other people agree with me.
Yeah, but which is funnier, $1 billion or $1 billion?
Billion? What? No, it's $8 million. It has to be $8 million, and it has to be in that voice. And it doesn't work any other. If I say $1 billion, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. But if I say $1 billion, that works. So yeah, that was it. The genesis of that video was that one day I shouted to myself, I think, alone in my room, $1 billion! And then I was like, writing that down. And that's actually the genesis for a lot of videos, is we'll just have conversations or we'll say random things, like Matt's latest video, Bitches Love Toast. That was just a thing that someone said, and now it's a video. And green screen, if you've seen green screen, that was a conversation that me and Jamie had when we got back from a night out. And it was the middle of the night, and we needed to go to bed. But we had to write it down because we needed to make it into a video. So we had to write it down when we went to sleep instead, in case we lost it. So yeah, a lot of videos kind of just tend to happen like that, and it's really fun. Anyone else? I'll come to you in a bit. I'm gonna go to you.
What was your inspiration for past being future being? How did you think of doing something like that? And when, while doing past being future being work, did you ever experience any points where you thought you just couldn't keep doing it? You had to have a few things before you were considering stopping. Do you think you'll ever do something like that again in the future?
That's a good set of questions. So I'll answer it in bits. The first one, the genesis of PBFB, the idea came to me very quickly around Christmas time, the year before I started filming Passing. I knew that I wanted to get into vlogging because I like the format, and I'm kind of a fan of the old school like travel diary format. I don't look it, but I enjoy a good Michael Palin documentary. I love it when he goes traveling around the world and talking to a camera. That's great. And vlogging is the closest you can get to that on an internet type budget. And it's fun and it's intimate. And so I wanted to do that, but if I was going to do it for the first time at the level I was with my other channel, with the stuff that I'm doing right now, I had to do it big. So I was thinking, what kind of big thing can I do? And I don't actually know exactly when it came to me, but I thought that would be really cool. And then immediately, like a week later, I didn't think about it. I didn't give any thought to it, didn't plan it at all, because I'm gone. And I paid for it. I paid the price. If I could go back in time, I would give myself weekends off. No, past me decided that I didn't need days off. I didn't need sleep. So that's just a thing. That's just a thing I have to live with now. Yeah, so I basically I put absolutely no thought into what I was going to do at all. I waited till I was back in Lincoln, and I started filming every day, talking to my future self. And so the second part of your question, there have been times when it's been really hard, but I don't think there have ever been times in the entire almost a year and a half I've been doing it now that I've said, like, I want to stop this, because it's so much fun. And like the sum of its parts is so much more valuable that I've never felt like if I stopped, particularly if I stopped, it would devalue everything else that I've done. So there's always that kind of pressure on me to keep going. Particularly when I was filming Basking, I was like, if I stop, I'm going to have a year's worth, or almost a year's worth of videos that are completely pointless. So I kept going. And there have been times when it's been hard or it's been delayed, for whatever reason, where days have been too packed or too busy, and I think that's just part of it. And yeah, but there's never been any parts where I thought, oh no, I can't do this anymore, please take me home. And the third part of your question, would I ever do anything like that again? Probably not. I am exhausted all the time, and what I want to be doing when this project finishes is working on my first feature film. So I will be doing further big projects, but nothing like this again. I will continue to blog as well, but less. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of things are going to change from it, but I'm not going to be doing the same kind of thing again. Anything quite on this scale or in this style again. I think it's a once in a lifetime project that I couldn't possibly recreate. But I'm very glad that I have done it. We have 10 minutes, so Jack, have you got my camera? Can you run and get my camera for me? It's behind Jack Mason, my word is.
Go, Jack, go!
So we have 8 minutes left until the Tom Star panel. I'm going to take a couple more questions, 2 more questions I think, and then when my camera arrives via Jack Howard, I'm going to film something with you guys if you don't mind, if you want to be involved in that. Anyone who doesn't want to be on camera, okay, so 2 more questions. Who's been waiting? Question.
I was working on a 2 to 3 short, 2 to 3 minute short sketch with my friends the other day, and I was trying to direct him and get him to say this line the way I wanted it to, and he's not a great actor. So it took about 5-10 minutes of sort of pussyfooting on the issue to get him to do it the way I wanted. I sort of was wondering what your take on how to direct people is, especially people who aren't good actors.
Directing is, directing is a really tricky one, especially if you're working with a lot of inexperienced people who aren't professional actors, are actually very hard to work with, and well, they can be very hard to work with, and but they're also the kind of people we work with all the time, because we're YouTubers and generally we started working with our friends. So there's very few videos where I've actually got a real actor, or like a real trained, legit actor. My biggest piece of advice about directing, if you want to direct performance, is to control the room. There's a certain knack to being the dominant force in the room that a director needs. Particularly if you're on location, you have time constraints, or you're dealing with big groups of people, you need to be the one in control. And there's this part of your brain that you need to turn off that will be telling you that you're a bit of a dick, or that you're being too harsh, or you're telling someone to do things too many times. But having been on both sides of that, I can tell you that, and having talked to the people that I've worked with, it's much more comfortable for an actor, particularly if they're inexperienced, to know that hierarchy, to know that the director is in control, knows what he wants, has a schedule, knows what's going on all the time. Because that way, whatever they do is safe, and even if they're doing it wrong, you will be there to tell them exactly what you want. And that kind of gives them not only a feeling that there is a professional structure, which actually gives them the ability to kind of detach themselves from what they're doing. But like, even little things like shouting, rolling, cut, that gives them a structure to cling on to that says, I'm in a film, and nothing I do here is going to reflect badly on me because it's part of the film. It's like a little switch in their brain will turn on, which is doing those, like following those things and being in control of the room. Again, it's something that you grow into, but that would be the biggest advice I could give you, is just you have to be the most prepared, most informed person on that set, and you have to be telling people exactly what you want. But yeah, it's all subjective, so maybe that isn't useful at all. One last question, and then I'll form something very quickly. You again.
What would you say the favourite video that you've done is?
I have a few favourites. I have a favourite set. My favourite set is the Trouble in Space Perfect Take Mothering set, because I like the way they look, I like all the performances, and I really, really enjoyed working with 5-second films. Seasoned comedians and actors who made it really, really, really just a joy. Although I think recently I would have to update my choice to Kings of Men, because that was so much fun, and I felt like a boss, like a pro. I was in it, being a slimy dirtbag, but I was also directing, and it was the biggest thing I directed since I'd studied at university. It was a challenge. We had a kind of time constraint. We got it done, and the result is awesome. So I think maybe that one. So for the last couple minutes, before I hand you over to Tomska and the Tomska crowd, which is Tomska, I'm good. I want to film something with you guys, if that's okay. I had this fun idea for Future Day. I don't know, how many of you watch Plastic Future Day? Good, the rest of you, talk to those guys, find out what's going on. I would like to film a little thing where I talk to myself and I'm like, hey, Plastic, I'm on stage and everybody's having a great time. And then I turn around and you're silent. And I'm going to nominate one person. I want you to shout, "Where's Tomska?" Because that's what you all really want. One shot, do you know how to focus this? And then press start. This is one job, everyone. He's an animator. I gave him a camera. Bad directing choice. That one in the middle there. There'll be a red light on the screen. You can start it now. And then, is the red light there? Yeah? Red flashing light thing on the screen? Yeah? Cool? Okay. Hello, Plastic. I'm on stage at MCM, and everybody's having a really good time.
Where's Tomska?
Awesome. I'm going to get one more take of that. I want everyone to be absolutely dead quiet. And after 4 seconds, 3 seconds, say, you shout. Okay? Ready?
Oh, guys, I got
Okay. Ready? Rolling. And action.
Where the hell's Tomska?
Awesome. I'm going to come a little bit closer. And I want you to say that exactly the same.
Where the hell's Tomska?
Fantastic! That's a wrap! Thank you to One Job for holding my camera, and thank you, what's your name again, Sam?
I'm Sam.
Sam! Thank you, Sam, for being a jerk. That concludes.
We love you really big.
That concludes my half hour. It is now 5 o'clock. I think there'll be a little bit of a switch over. And then, wait, what? Oh, I get to keep going. Okay, cool. Any more questions? Does anyone have any more questions? You have a question then.
Don't take a question on camera.
What would be your favourite Sunday?
This is why.
Like ice cream Sunday?
No, like a day, perfect day.
Oh, my perfect day. Okay, until PBFB started, my perfect Sunday would probably be loads of really expensive food, really comfortable clothes, and a Blu-ray season collection of Battlestar Galactica. But after PBFB started, my perfect Sunday became not having to edit or film. My perfect Sunday is where somebody else is doing all my work for me, and I get to do that. I get to do nothing. I can sleep if I want to, but no, I have to get up. I have to get up and do things. Anyone else? You in the back!
Can you guys to Tom's dog?
Can I dance to Tom's dog? No, do we have? We don't have Tom's dog. Tom has Tom's dog. Tom to the rescue. I can't dance. I dance like an old man. You're finished. You're finished.
I want your stuff in a box by Monday.
I can't break dance or anything. You're expecting me. Oh, can you play Tom's dog? He's got it. By the way, if you don't know already, I have a stall as well. There's a Rommel bus, and when you're done sitting through the next hour of amazing panels, come say hi, let me sign your face or whatever, let me sell you some stuff. Screw that up. I'm rusty. Awesome! That was a great panel. Thank you for making me alive. And have a great day.
I must 3D animate you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.